Hello and good evening. Homecoming 2023. I'm Bruce Overton along with Paul Bodwin. And tonight it's the St. Louis Park Orioles against Cretin-Derham Hall. The Raiders are here in St. Louis Park and haven't really had an opportunity to ever do a game where the Raiders were playing here at St. Louis Park. And a lot of history goes back with the Raiders with some great players on that team.
Not the least of which is Joe Mauer, I believe.
Correct. And Chris Walsh.
Yep.
Orioles will kick off. Benishek kicks off. Fielded at the 25. That's number 11, Gales. Gales cuts to the near side. Across the 45, 50. And he's across midfield where he's finally brought down by the Orioles. So good starting position. And it'll be interesting, Paul, in this kind of game. We've had a lot of rain today. So we'll have to see what happens with people being able to hold on to the football in this game.
Hold on to the football, hold on to the guy you're trying to tackle, get your footing as a defensive player on a slick field. I've always believed that a wet field actually benefits the offense more than the defense because the defense has to react, and if you can't get your footing solid, it can be hard to react, and I wonder if that contributed to Gale's nice return there to the 49-yard line of the Orioles.
Miles Bollinger will lead the team at quarterback. The running back will be Tommy Stika. And back to pass, throws to Stika. And Stika gets down to about the 41-yard line. So they go to the air early. And Cretin-Derham Hall, Bollinger has been completed 64% of his passes this season, 56 for 87, 619 yards. He has 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Bo Bollinger is the other quarterback. He's 15 for 29 this year, so.
And both have a little bit of pedigree, you might say, in their lineage.
Stika gets a carry. He gets across the inside the 40-yard line down to about the 36. That's going to bring up a first down for Cretin-Derham Hall, who has, aside from, we mentioned Bollinger and Stika, their wide receivers are Gales, Prestigard, and Dixon. Tight end Stokeland. Offensive line is Beater, Tome, Graves, Monahan, and Hayes.
And the Orioles will likely have their work cut out for them today, Bruce, as they're facing, neither team has played particularly well this year, but and here we go.
Yeah, Stika. So we're going to see a lot of Stika in this game. And coming into the game, Stika carried the ball only 44 times, 174 yards. Jadale Thompson was their other main carrier. I'm not sure if he's available for this game.
Brings up second down.
Up front for the Orioles on the defensive line is Martinson, Sanchez, and Osara Edwards. The linebacking crew is Huntley, Cruz, Schrader, and Hardin. In the defensive backfield, it's Benishek, Tolzien, Bart, and Bauer. Second down and short to go. Handoff. And a first down for the Raiders.
And the Raiders with an all positive yards so far on every play, and they're getting themselves into situations where they're in second and short, which always, as we say, opens up the playbook. And they're just marching right down the field.
Yeah, that was Leo Weber getting the carry, his first carry of the game that time, and he was able to get 4 or 5 yards. And now they bring in Jadale Thompson into the backfield, number 25. Actually a full house backfield. And the give is to Steeken. Or that was number 25, Jadale Thompson.
Yep, he only got a couple. Yes.
Number 25, Thompson, then carried for the Raiders.
This is where the Orioles are going to really want to try to tighten up. Don't let them get too close to the end zone. See if you can, force them on a 3rd and long, 4th and long, maybe kick a field goal. You don't want them to march right down the field and score a touchdown on the first drive.
Handoff, that looks like number 19, Weber. And the Orioles do a good job this time on Weber. Only give him maybe a yard or so.
Brought down by number 56.
That's in the last 2 plays, that front line of the Orioles defense has stuffed them pretty well.
Brings up 3rd down.
So we got 3rd and about 6 to go, and be interesting to see what the Raiders draw up here.
Yeah, we'll see if they put the ball up in the air. This really is probably 4-down territory too, Paul,
Yep.
for the Raiders.
Yeah, it always depends on your kicker, but that's probably the case.
Throw across the middle and almost had a chance to intercept it that time, the Orioles.
Almost picked
Number
off. It looked
4,
like the
ball
throw
on the
was
pass.
just a little bit
Ball
off,
is
a little bit
incomplete.
late maybe.
Brings up 4th down.
Tried to feed his receiver, but the defense was there.
Yeah, I
Take
think
a look here. Just way out in front of him.
Ben Bauer.
He might have had him, but he just threw it too far out in front of him. So here we go, as you said, 4-down territory. It's 4th and 5.
Well, they're setting up for a field goal.
They are.
It's a long one.
Number 9, Mackey, back kick.
39-yard field goal. And the kick is up and good.
Yeah, he sure got a leg.
Yeah.
The field goal is good.
So 3-0. Still maybe a little bit of a moral victory for St. Louis Park that time.
You know, especially with the way those first few drives went, Bruce, the Raiders would seem to be marching right down the field almost at will, getting 4, 5, 6 yards of play. But then the Oriole defense kind of got stingy there and held them to 4th and 5, and they did a nice job kicking a 39-yard field goal. But I think if you're the Orioles in that situation, you'll take it. Now we'll see what the Oriole offense can do. They've struggled this year, but they are, as we were talking about before the show started, they're young. They're a young team. And so they're growing, they're learning, and they're building something here.
Let's go, Park! I ran into our old neighbors over there.
Mackey to kick off from the 40. He's got a leg on him, and that one's
sure
into the end
does.
zone.
Number 9, Mackey's kick goes into the end zone.
Yeah, they
for
definitely have a
touchback.
kicker,
First
and
down,
that,
Orioles.
as we saw a few years ago with Park, can make a big difference at this level.
Yeah, it really does, especially too when you have wet field conditions and
Yep.
you got to work the ball down the field. So Orioles will start off with Rickard at quarterback, Helfman the running back. Wide receivers will be Eichten, Schultz, and Noack. Tight end Theo Holmberg.
Help me, is there any way for my parents to walk? They were going to Scabby.
Orioles from the 20-yard line. Helfman in the backfield. He's going to get the pitch. Gets maybe a couple yards.
Number 2, Helfman on the carry for the Orioles.
Helfman's definitely been their go-to guy this year. We'll see if he can carry them on the ground with a
Brought down by number
soggy,
5,
wet
Cruz
field and an
for the
offense
Raiders.
that's developing and doesn't
Brings up
quite have the
second down.
passing game I think they'd like.
No, they're a very young team,
Yep.
Paul. You know, you look at this roster, and there's 3 sophomores, and the rest are all juniors, not a senior in the lineup. So that's good for this Orioles program
It
here.
is.
To high snap, and the give to Helfman again. Helfman
Number 2, Helfman on the carry for
gets
the Orioles.
stacked up pretty close to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a 3rd down, and Orioles still going to need about 6 yards to go here for the first down.
Brought down
Yeah,
by
and that's going to
number
be tough because
76.
the Raiders are probably looking for maybe a handoff to
Here
Helfman
for
here. I don't
the-
know. Maybe they got to throw.
The Raiders brings
But
up
this is
3rd
what
down.
happens when you can't get those yards in the early downs. Then you end up 3rd and long, and things get really, really difficult, especially when you're at least semi-deep as they are in their own territory.
Paul, we saw that St. Louis Park lost to Tartan 31-28, and Cretin-Derham Hall beat Tartan 35-0. That's the only similarity of the schedule from the 2 teams. So if
Right.
you get a comparison there, Cretin-Derham Hall looks like a pretty heavy favorite, but
Number 12,
record-wise,
Brendan's
both
pass
teams are
falls
pretty
incomplete.
close here.
They are. I think they're both in and
4th
out of
down.
conference. They have similar records, and as you say, that common opponent in Tartan is the only indication as to who might have the edge here, and it looks to be the Raiders, and certainly the Raiders seem to have a little bit more of a dynamic offense.
Not the way the Orioles wanted to start with a 3 and out on their first possession. So they'll have to punt the football. Good snap. It's a low punt, and it's fielded.
press guard
Right.
on the field.
Yeah, Prescott, and he reverses back to the 35-yard line. So
Number 14,
Cretin-Derham Hall
Prescott
again
on the
deep in
return
Oriole territory at the
for the Raiders.
35-yard
Brought down by the
line.
Orioles.
Great starting field position
First
for
down,
them
Raiders.
again.
Absolutely. And this is the kind of rhythm that the Orioles don't want to get into here on their homecoming. And by the way, we have a pretty great crowd here for a night when it's 48 degrees and soggy and wet and cold.
It really is.
They kind of did show up.
They filled in pretty quick here because when we got here, I got here about 45 minutes early, and it didn't look like there was going to be anyone here. But
Right.
But they have. You notice they don't bring umbrellas anymore either. So.
Well, that's just rude. So we'll see if the Orioles can make a stop here and put anything together. We got a flag on the play.
Offsides on defense.
Yeah, the Orioles jumped offside, so they'll be 5 yards against the Orioles. They'll bring it down to the 30-yard line.
And the playbook loves a 1st and 5, Bruce.
Sure does, Paul. And now they're going to bring Leo Weber into the backfield. Set a man in motion, but Weber gets the carry. Weber's got good size. He just keeps his feet churning. Has the first down right at the 25-yard line. So Orioles are going to have to find a way to stop the run game. Just underway, 6:05 to go here in the first quarter, 3-0. Bollinger hands off to Weber. Weber off right tackle, gets to about the 21-yard line where he's finally met by a couple Orioles.
Yeah, a little bit stuffed there, so you'll take that.
Take a look at it again. You see good job by the offensive line on the right side of the offensive line for the Raiders. And that's Monahan and Hayes really doing a good job pushing on that right side of the line.
They also have this 23 Dixon, a wide receiver, who picked up a block. A big kid for a wide receiver.
Hand off again to Weber.
It's going to be close.
19 Weber on the carry for the Raiders.
I think it'd be about a yard short of a first down, Paul. And so it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as we mentioned, this is, well, we thought it would be 4-down territory, but they've got a really good kicker. And
Brought down by number 56, Edward.
They do, but with it being that close, Bruce, I would say you go for it. You know, you're on the, 16, 17-yard line of the Orioles, and 4th and, or is it 3rd?
If it gets to that point, we're at 3rd now.
Third down.
Yeah.
I lost track of my downs. I had the understanding there would be no math.
Back to pass, Bollinger. He's got some pressure, and he's pulled down at the 29-yard line.
Number 4,
and that's a
great job by Tolson.
Cruz for a loss in the play.
Or Cruz.
Cruz. Yeah, huge play for the
Tony
Orioles
Cruz,
there
yeah.
to drive him back, and now it's a 4th and long rather than 4th and short, and I would expect to maybe see the field goal unit get back on the field.
There you see Tony just getting around and doing a great job. So spotted at the left hash mark, and Mackey with another opportunity here. This one a little bit longer, 41 yards.
He had the leg for 41 last time.
And this kick is up, and it's just over the upright.
Just clears the upright. Look at that.
The crossbar, yeah, that was a close one.
So it's an interesting kind of beginning here to the game, Bruce, with the Raiders getting some good field position on their first 2 possessions, kind of marching the ball down the field, but can't quite convert. Decide to kick 2 field goals. So if the Orioles, you're maybe feeling good and that you've kind of stopped it from getting in the end zone. If you're the Raiders, you're still up 6-0.
Yeah, the Orioles are down by less than a score. They have a chance to take the lead if they come down the field. And Cretin-Derham Hall has not really been, they've only been stopped on 4th down twice. Yep. So otherwise, you're right. It's still a ball game here, and St. Louis Park has to feel good about where they're at right now in this.
But they've got to get something going on offense, because the Raiders would be fine kicking field goals all night.
What I think is even more impressive is kicking these 41 and 39-yard field goals in these kind of conditions. The field's wet. We can see it from up here, but no problem. And
It's wet.
Mackey looks like he's just an
Yeah, he's got a leg.
outstanding kicker. Yeah.
I mean, look at that. The field's wet and it's cold and those are hard, and a little bit windy. I think. Well, maybe not. It was windy earlier, but well, no, that wind's
actually
blowing.
the wind's at the back. They're back. That probably helps on the field goals too.
Yeah.
So let's see if the Orioles can get something going here.
And that's what they're going to need to do. You just you got to get your offense clicking somehow. And I think what the Orioles are going to have to do, even if it means some bungled passes and maybe an interception here or there, they're going to have to start working on this passing game and get it moving because they can't just give it to Helfman every time. Teams can key in on that too easily.
No Giovanelli this year.
He's red-shirted at St. Thomas.
The pitch, Helfman.
There we
nice. Go. Yeah, that's a good gain for the
Number
Orioles on
2
first down.
Carry for the Orioles.
So four yards for the Orioles on the first down. So it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Oh, it looks like he dropped the ball, but they picked it up.
Eichton lines up on wide right as a wide receiver here. Once again, the give to Helfman gets a couple yards.
Number 2 Helfman on the carry.
Orioles running the ball early.
For the Raiders. 3rd down for the Orioles.
So it's 3rd down, 4 yards to go. They did try a 3rd down pass, which was incomplete on the first possession.
And we'll see what they do here. I mean, I'm predicting a give to Mason Helfman. With only 4 yards to go, he can chew those up.
They give up the middle, but nothing doing.
Nothing doing, yeah. Raiders were ready for it. They were ready for it. Kind of a statement to say, look, if you're going to beat us on this, you're going to have to do it through the air.
Carry on the play by the Orioles.
So the Orioles in a 4th down punting situation here.
Yep. Another 3 and out.
They're going for it.
I like this call.
Could be a pooch kick.
We'll see. We'll see what they actually do, but I like this. Let's keep them guessing.
Maybe trying to draw them off sides here.
Yeah. Yeah, and they call the timeout, and that Raider offensive line were statues. They did not budge. But why not?
Well, yeah, you know, nothing to lose there except for a timeout.
You never know who you might get to flinch, and that's all it takes.
They sure wanted that to happen. They did not want to be punting again, giving the ball back to the Raiders.
But as much as, you know, it's exciting and fun to see them go for it in that situation when you're this deep in your own territory.
And again, it's only a 6-point game.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, you're better off punting the ball here. But I like going for that hard count and seeing if you can get them to.
Shulman's second punt. So a little bit higher.
Not real long, though.
And it was fielded. I don't know if I'm Steve Walsh, the coach of Cretin-Derham Hall. I'm probably saying just don't take it, don't field that ball. Let it.
Fields the punt.
Yep. That was Luke Charlton, I think is how it's pronounced, who kind of ran in there at great risk, but he held on to it.
Well, Cretin-Derham Hall is making a habit of starting in good field position on the Orioles side of the field. So
yeah, we have not. Like I'm starting to get a little sore looking to one side so much. We haven't been to our right very much this game.
The Orioles have not crossed midfield.
I don't think the ball has since the opening kickoff.
There's a quick pass complete. Good job by the defense that time as it was caught by Jalen Gales getting the catch.
pickup of 2 or 3
Number
to
4,
hit.
Bollinger's pass is complete to number 11, Gales. Brought down by number 8, Tolzien on the play.
Tolzien was the
Brings up
defender
second
on the
down.
play for the Orioles. So it brings up a second down, 5 yards to go. We're going to get a run here.
Yep, looks that way.
It is right off the left side of the line.
Yeah, it looks like he got enough for the first down.
Bryson Huntley in on the tackle for the Orioles.
Bringing us near the end of the first quarter with 30
Sika
seconds
on the
left.
carry
We'll see
for
if
the
they
Raiders, brought down by number
snap the
20,
ball here or
Huntley
just let it
for
go
the
down.
Orioles. First down, Raiders.
It looks like they'll let it tick, but we'll see. We got 15 seconds. Oh.
8 seconds, they snap it. Rolling.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
He's got
but
a man.
Player out there.
Oh.
And that was for Thompson, and Thompson was hit low.
And he just dropped it. I don't know if he turned away from it or the ball was cold and wet, but
If we saw Bauer coming here.
kind of right there. Let's take a look. He gets in trouble. He's got to get rid of it, and he does. And he just can't hang on to it.
He had some good pressure coming from the middle, Henry Schrader. So they'll have another play here with 1 second to go.
Yep. Yeah, with the incompletion, that's going to stop the clock. So almost feels like a little bonus football.
Just what the crowd wants, sitting out in the rain.
Well, it's not actually raining right now, which is great.
Not too
but
bad.
it's cold. They look cold out there.
Fake to Thompson, the throw to the near side, complete. Number 11, and that's Gales. And Gales gets a nice gain out to the 21-yard line. And that's going to move the chains again as we complete the first quarter. So pretty much all Raiders here in the first quarter, Paul. 2 field goals, both by Mackey, a 39-yarder and 41-yarder. And we're through 1 quarter here from St. Louis Park, 6-0. The Raiders over the Orioles.
Today, millions of people all across America are building a life in recovery from mental and substance use disorders, helping themselves and helping each other with friends, family, and community, lending their strength and support. Join the Voices for Recovery. Together, we are stronger. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders, for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Bruce Overton along with Paul Bodwin as we get ready for the second quarter here at Homecoming 2023 for the St. Louis Park Orioles. And I looked at the forecast. We're going to cover the last game of the season next Wednesday, Paul, against Chanhassen. But and that looks to be like 60 degrees at game time. We just got a bad homecoming draw on this game here.
We did.
But as you mentioned, really a good crowd. So.
And you can't have homecoming and senior night on the same day.
Give to Weber.
19 Weber on the carry for the Raiders. Brought down by the Orioles.
I will just say with the late homecoming, because this is a very late homecoming, sometimes it just has to do with the schedule, where your home games are. And then I'll just say, particularly for St. Louis Park, when you're dealing with the Jewish high holidays, you can't have homecoming during that period of time. And so if there's a homecoming game or a home game in there, you're not going to have homecoming in that period of time either. So this is probably the reason for the late homecoming game, is just the way the schedule worked out.
So Thompson in the backfield for the Raiders, who have been moving the ball pretty well on the ground so far. And this is to Thompson. Thompson churns it out to about the 5-yard line.
Thompson on the carry for the Raiders.
So here we are, the Raiders as close as they've been.
Brought down by number 11, Martinson.
To the end zone. So I'm wondering if they would go 4-down territory here because they want to punch one into the end zone. And also with the Orioles not having been able to really get anything going offensively, you kind of take that chance maybe this deep into their own territory.
Yeah, the Orioles are going to need to sustain a drive on their next series because this defense is going to start tiring out.
For sure, especially in this weather, you expend energy just staying warm.
Fake to Weber, rolling to the near side, incomplete. That's the one thing the Orioles have been applying some pressure to the quarterback.
Yep, and that was some real nice pressure on that play by, who was that? That was Tony Cruz again. Yeah, he just got right in there and nowhere for Bollinger to go. Just had to dump it. So the defense has really shown up here in a way for the Orioles. The Raiders have had great field possession every possession.
Yeah, they've been able to hold when they get to third down. So we'll see what happens here, though. It's third down, goal to goal. Back to pass. Bollinger has a player open across the middle of the field, and was he out of bounds? Out of bounds.
They're calling him out of bounds. I thought he got a foot in, Bruce, but
very close.
And I think he thought he got a foot in as well. Let's take a look here and see. There's no replay, of course, at the high school level.
Let's see here.
And it's just.
Well, we don't have the ground.
Our view doesn't have the ground. I don't know what it looked like at home. It's hard
Dixon.
for us to tell.
That was Montef Dixon. And now Mackey's going to go for a third field goal. I don't think I've seen this many field goals in the first half in many, many years.
Yeah. Well, he's got the leg for this.
This one's against the wind, though. But, he put that one over to McDonald's.
I was going to say, he was a little wide left, wide right. I was wondering if it was wide. It was hard to tell from our angle, but they call it no good. That's a big stop for the Orioles.
Oh, when you look at this game and you see how much Cretin-Derham Hall has carried the ball down the field, moved the ball, and you got to say, if you're St. Louis Park's coaches, we've held them on third down 3 times and forced them to kick the field goals and miss one there. So still a 1-possession game, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is with how much they've dominated this game. The Orioles have had, 6 plays from scrimmage? They've had as many plays from scrimmage as the Raiders do points. So we'll see if they can come up with something here starting on their own 20.
And again, it's Helfman.
Number 2, Helfman on the carry for the Orioles.
I think the Orioles are going to have to mix it up a little bit, Paul. Yeah. Maybe throw the ball on first down. Try to mix things up a little bit. Once you can establish a little bit of confusion for the defense, and then that run opens up a little bit more.
And also, there's no way for a new young quarterback to learn the passing game if they're not ever throwing the ball. But look at this.
Well, we're going to run again, and again, stacked up. So, when you do that and you continue to predominantly run, you really stack everyone in the box on the defensive side. They're going to say, until you start throwing the football, we're going to bring 8 guys up to the box, and it's going to make it even more difficult.
Yeah, and on that pitch play to Helfman there, it looked like he had a really nice head of steam going and like he was going to maybe get something, but that you're like, as you said, with all those guys in the box there, they were able to stuff him and keep him to a short gain.
So now it brings up a third down, and here's where the defense can start putting pressure on the quarterback. Well, they run a pitch handoff play, so and a good gain for the Orioles, nice. And they're going to get a first down. So they run a sweep.
Benecek on the carry, brought down by number 7.
So Benecek on a sweep.
Yeah, and that was a really nice run on his part. It looked like he was coming in on the outside, trying to make the corner here, you can see. And it didn't look to me like he was going to be able to do it, but he got some nice blocking and a good hard run, and that's a first down for the Orioles of this game.
So you got your kicker running the football.
Hey, that's mixing it up, though.
Now we're back to pass on first down, but I think there's miscommunication that time. Looked like it was between Eichten and Rickard.
Yeah, Rickard was expecting to go deep. Eichten cut back, kind of throws it away, but I love it, Bruce, getting that 1st and 10. Now let's throw the ball, see if we can get something going. That's what they need to do.
Orioles have yet to cross midfield don't do that, they're going to need a first down.
They're going to need another one.
And the pitch. Nothing doing.
Number 2, Helpman.
And that was Seebeck
Is shoved out of bounds by number
and
15.
Chorlton there on the tackle to just get him right out of bounds.
Number
Nowhere to
10.
go.
Yeah, I really like this Raiders defensive team. They're really doing a good job stretching out when the Orioles do run it outside. They really seem to be not only you're seeing like multiple players in on the tackle. It's not just one player.
So 3rd and long now for the Orioles. Not where they want to be.
Rickard back to pass. He's got time. Now he gets pressure. Throws over the middle. Complete. At the 45-yard line. Still on his feet. And now a late hit.
There it is. There's the flag. That was definitely a late hit, Bruce. But what a play by the Orioles. It's exactly what they needed to do. Rickard drops back. He gets under pressure. He stays patient, gets rid of the ball at the exact right moment.
And Ryan
finds his guy.
Oleski with a nice catch.
Beautiful play by the Orioles, and they're going to get 15 tacked on to the end of it, I believe.
Yeah, watch Ryan here. He did a nice job passing and finding the middle of the zone defense there. Did a great job running after the catch, and then a really late hit.
And there they go. That's huge play on the Orioles. First of all, to just make that play. That's the play they needed to get something moving. And then you tack this on the end of it. I'm not sure. The play was so late. I just can't imagine what he was thinking. But that's a big mistake on the part of the Raiders.
Handoff. Helfman stays on his feet as he tries to get close to the 20-yard line. He gets about the 21. So gain of about 3 on that play.
That's just kind of vintage Helfman right there, just grinding it out. Just keeps the legs moving. Strong kid. Picks up a couple.
Now where we've seen one team kicking a lot of field goals, I think the Orioles are a team that would go for it on 4th down if they get anywhere within a couple yards. So.
I agree. I don't think they quite have the kicking game that we saw a few years ago.
Rickard rolling to the near side. He's got some pressure and just throws it away. So good job.
Try to do a little Patrick Mahomes kind of shovel push pass there to see if he can make something happen.
Brings up 3rd down.
Pretty hard when you're running that direction.
Yep.
You have to throw that direction.
But good awareness on the part of Rickard to get rid of it there and not take the sack. He's shown on the last couple pass plays, he's shown some really good awareness of what's happening around him.
And again, you look now, because they've thrown the ball a few times, you look, the defense is set up a little bit differently here. So you could see the Orioles try and run the football here.
Yeah, things are more spread out, that's for sure.
Back to pass. Rickard rolls to the far side, trying to get his player out there, and he goes out of bounds. So
Number 12, Rickard, is shoved out of bounds. Brings up 4th down.
So here we go. It's going to be 4th and long.
Great pursuit by the defense, and Jaden Harris had some good speed coming in on the defensive side of the ball that time.
Yeah, and the coverage on the part of the Raiders was really good as well. There was just nobody open. There's not a whole lot Rickard could do there other than try to throw the ball away, but that would have.
I think the Orioles go for it here, and if you give the ball back to Cretin-Derham Hall, this will be the worst field position that they've had by far.
Great point, Bruce. Yep, it would be. So we got a whistle.
I think we get a timeout by the
Timeout, Orioles.
7:22 remaining here in the first quarter.
Second quarter,
sorry. Good. For the St. Louis Park Orioles this season, they started off with a 27-7 loss to Mankato East. They beat Washburn 33-22 for their first win, or their only win of the year. Then they lost 31-7 to Apple Valley, 41-3 to Cooper, 17-7 to Bloomington Jefferson, and 31-28 to Tartan. For Cretin-Derham Hall, they beat Tartan 35-0, and then they started a 5-game losing streak with losses to Bemidji, St. Thomas Academy, Armstrong, Hastings, and Matamidi. St. Thomas Academy is in the division that Cretin-Derham Hall is in. They're 3-0, 5-1. Armstrong also in that division, so they really move divisions around. It's not, you haven't seen Robbinsdale Armstrong in a team with Hastings,
Right.
Matamidi, Cretin-Derham Hall, and St. Thomas Academy. So
It gets confusing, Bruce.
it really
Trying
is.
to keep track of who your conference rivals are.
Ricker, he's got time to throw and try to throw that one back across the near side and incomplete. So not really even giving the receiver a chance on that one.
No, I don't know if there was some miscommunication there as well. I mean, it looked like maybe he was looking for him to be further downfield. I'm not sure, but
yeah, for a
it's still well covered and a tough spot to be in. But like you said, you know, the Raiders are going to take over here with the worst field possession they've had, and the Orioles at least got something going offensively, so they can feel like, okay, we can do this. That's a good boost for them to be able to drive the ball down the field a little bit that way.
And the defense got a little bit of a breather, so which is good. So the Raiders come out with Weber in the backfield.
This crowd is growing, Bruce.
The pitch goes to Weber. Weber with the hole. He's got a nice head of steam as he gets across the 30 down to the 31.
Yeah, some good blocking up front, good hard runner. Just one of those plays that's just so well designed and executed.
Finally brought down by Henry Schrader for the Orioles.
Brought down by number 10, Schrader. Brings up second down.
So he spotted at the 32-yard line. Give up the middle. That's Thompson. Thompson has a first down.
Looks like it.
26, Dyka on the carry. Tripped up by the Orioles.
No turnovers yet with the wet field conditions.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of running, but you're right, not a lot of turnovers. We don't.
Well, now the stick says third down, but they moved the first down chain, so now they've got it right.
We don't have sizes, but it appears to me, Bruce, that the Raiders just have a big offensive line. It gets a nice push.
Thompson in the backfield. He gets the ball coming over to the left side. Looks for a little opening. Gets about a yard, maybe two.
Yeah, not a lot there for him, but he kind of stayed up on his feet, danced around a little bit, and was able to squeak out a couple yards on what looked like he could have been hit for a loss.
Brought down number 10, Schrader for the Orioles.
Good job by Schrader again on defense for the Orioles.
Second down.
Looks like Alex Larson also in on that one.
.5 minutes to play in the half.
Press the guard wide right. And the handoff. Oh, breaking a tackle, breaking another one is Thompson. And it's all Thompson getting the first down across midfield. So
25,
really a nice run by Thompson. Looked like he could have been stacked up right around the line of scrimmage. But he does a really nice job cutting back inside and then turning it back upfield for another.
Yeah.
As you see a little bit of a spin move.
Yeah, really nice, good hard run on the part of Thompson. Also, again, there's some really good blocking there that made it hard for the Orioles to get anything but like a hand on him. And so he's able to just kind of spin and juke his way up. And
yeah, finally, Romero Sanchez getting the tackle. So now Steeken back in the backfield for Cretin-Derham Hall. They've mixed it up with three backs, Thompson, Weber, and Steeken. Back to pass. Bollinger's going to go in the flat. Oh!
Oh,
And that was Steeken. And
that was a big hit.
yes, it was.
Number 4, Bollinger.
Cruz.
Pass intended for 26. Steven falls
And who else, right?
Second down.
You just got the cruise missile right there.
That's a big hit. And those hurt more when it's cold.
Cruz was there maybe a couple seconds more. He could have really had even an opportunity to get to the ball before the receiver.
Yep. Did he lose it?
Fumble. And the
I
Orioles
think he
have
lost
it.
the ball. Looks like the Orioles got it.
Yeah, that's Thompson, and you can see he's upset with himself. But we mentioned that we haven't seen any turnovers with the wet football in the ground, and that time Thompson fumbling the football, and the Orioles will get it back around close to midfield. So big break for the Orioles, and they still only trail by one score, 6-0 our score.
Yeah, that's a huge break for the Orioles. It felt like it was bound to happen. Somebody was going to cough one up here sooner or later, and the Orioles are the beneficiary of it. Get the ball at midfield. Let's see if they can put something together and build on what they did on their last drive.
Orioles would like to get the running game going. Be able to get about 2 yards per run. This is Helfman. This time he goes 2 yards in the wrong direction.
Yep.
Number 2, Helfman.
It's good pursuit on the part of the Raiders.
In the backfield.
There's just nowhere for him to go. He's just
Yeah, Jaden Harris has had a good game so far. And you see Jaden diving in and making a textbook tackle that time. Single coverage on the near sideline.
It's going to be a tough spot for the Orioles here.
Back to pass. And complete, but maybe for a yard.
Yeah. So we're going to be looking at about a 3rd and 9 or so. Maybe 3rd and 10 still.
Yeah, Nate Noack with the catch here, but really good defense and a nice tackle made by number 22, Hewerman.
Number 12, Rutgers pass is complete. Short gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
It's the Orioles have had 2 plays to get the 1 yard. Now they're faced with a 3rd and 9. Rickert's had some pressure too. He's been back in the pocket. Now he steps up, throws over the middle, has a player, and very close to first down. I think he's going to be short.
Yeah, I think he's going to be short, but it's one of those where I'd love to see it because it looks like the ball maybe broke the plane, but it's all going to depend on where they spot it. He looks a little short, but I think if you're the Orioles, you got to go
I don't know.
for it.
They look like they're putting it way back here.
Oh, really? I mean, look at that.
I don't think you're even close enough for the tush push where they're putting this ball.
Yeah, that's a bad spot for the Orioles. I thought that
4th down.
he was almost right there, but nevertheless, here we go, 4th and 2. Let's see if they can convert in a big spot with 2:30 to play in the first half.
Well, they're doing the sweep play, and they're in trouble.
Number 14, Benasek on the carry.
And Cretin-Derham Hall will get the ball back at midfield. So they didn't fool Cretin-Derham Hall that time. It did work on one time. It's worked 1 out of 3 now for the Orioles. So
yeah, they had the one where he was able
that
to
one out of the playbook for
turn the corner, but that's again Harris there on the getting into the backfield and making the tackle.
Yeah, Benashek was the ball carrier. So 2:23 left here in the first half. Orioles would love to be within a score when this half ends.
Yeah, you know, considering how much it's been almost all Raiders, offensively anyway, to go into the half, go into the locker room only down 6-0 would be a big victory.
Back to
for
pass
the
throw. They got a player open. And that's Gales. Gales down the sideline, and Gales gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. Nice gain.
Number 11, Gales.
Not what you wanted to do is give up that big play.
About a 28-yard gain by Gales.
Clock should start moving here as soon as they get the sticks set. Yep.
Well, it looked like there was some confusion on the Orioles defensive on that right side, and, Bollinger was able to see that and was able to set up a really nice play to the left side. So give to Weber.
19 Weber on the carry for the Raiders. Brought down number 10 Schrader for the Orioles.
Yeah, so 1:45 to play and ticking.
I think the Orioles have used 2 timeouts. Cretin-Derham Hall has all 3 timeouts.
And yeah, they're going to probably let this clock tick down a little bit before they start using them. But we'll see. They're certainly taking their time here.
Yeah, if they don't get a playoff here soon, they may have to call a timeout. Back to pass. Bollinger sets up a screen. That's Thompson. Thompson, who fumbled his last time he touched the ball. Able to keep possession of the ball for a first down for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's a nice play on the part of the Raiders. Just a little screen. He gets the first down, stops the clock while they move the sticks. Puts the Raiders in a really good spot here to sort of take their time and see if they can get a score in right before the end of the first half.
And off to Weber. Just goes hard up the middle. And now we'll get a timeout called by the Raiders.
35 seconds to play. And, you know, Bruce, the Orioles defense has done a pretty nice job of plugging up the middle. They haven't been able to get much going up the middle this game.
Sure, their backs have been against the wall, but they've come up big when they've needed to.
So we're going to be looking at, 35 seconds left. 2nd and 10. If you can make this stop as the Orioles, like we said, you're going to feel pretty good going into this locker room down 6-0. But they're going to have to make the stop. And the Raiders have a nice dynamic offense going. They can run outside. They've got the screen passes. So we'll see what they draw up here with.
Yeah, Bollinger's made some nice throws in the game, and but they've made them fairly easy throws. They've been just sort of those screen passes, just good, easy touch passes in this kind of weather conditions.
So here we go.
They keep Thompson in the backfield. Back to pass. Bollinger lobs it up for the corner, and players there. Touchdown, I think.
Yeah, it looked like he got it. Oh, just not what you want to do with your Orioles. And that was
Jalen Gales.
Number 11, Gales.
Yeah, and you had, I'm not sure who it was, but he just didn't turn around and look at all. I mean, he might have been able to block that or pick it. But you see here, he's just so focused on the receiver. And the ball sneaks in, and that's a touchdown for the Raiders. And so a huge, huge possession for the Raiders.
Some of that, too, is the receiver, too, not really letting the player know that the ball's really in the air coming to him. So the last second, the receiver will catch the football. Mackey, I think he put that one all the way towards the gate.
All homecoming nominees, please go to the ramp at this time. All homecoming nominees, please go to the ramp at this time.
Yeah, so I do wonder if that's one, if your defensive coordinator and such is going to want to really look at this week and say, what did we miss here? Because there was an opportunity, it felt like to me, to make the play there. But kudos to the Raiders on a nice drive down the field with just a couple minutes to play. The Orioles will get the ball back, but with one timeout in 28 seconds, it's going to be a tall order to make anything happen out of it.
And Paul, I think for Steve Walsh, I think that was big to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
I think they've had so many possessions where they've done well, but they just couldn't finish. And that time they were able to finish.
Yep.
So going into the locker room for them gives them a little more of that momentum, saying, all right, guys, we have to finish. We can't be kicking all field goals,
And not only did they finish there, they finished big with a throw down field, which we really haven't seen much of. But they found a man in the end zone, and Bollinger lofted it up, and it's 6 points with 7 with the extra point for the Raiders, and they're up 13-0 here with 28 seconds.
Here's what I want to see, Paul. Now, Mackey's going to kick off against the wind. Let's see if he can get it still out of the end zone.
14 finishing back deep.
Care to make it interesting?
For the Orioles.
He's got a leg on him. I think he can put it in the end zone.
I do
from
too.
there.
Oh, he
he's
just
gonna
kind of a
squib
little squib it. Yep. Keep that clock moving.
Filled by the Orioles, and they go down at the 25. So there's still 24 seconds, but I think if I'm the Orioles, we get the ball to start the second half. I think I just take the football, down it, and go into halftime here and regroup.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, it's tempting to say, hey, let's take a shot, but you're deep in your own territory. That could go sideways real fast, and I think you're right to let's just take the knee, go into the locker room, warm up a little bit, and take the ball in the second half and see what we can do. But
of course, that's what we would do. But,
but they look poised to throw here. So
exactly. They have one timeout left. Rickard. They just hand off.
Yeah. Looked like, a little bit of a decoy maybe, like, hey, let's try to spread them out, see if we can get a big run, but let's not do anything stupid here. And with 10 seconds and ticking, I don't even know if they're going to snap it.
Yeah, I think we've seen the last play of the half unless we get a timeout with
I don't know what
second to go.
They're doing. The clock ran down a lot. I thought they called a timeout. They did.
So,
yeah, they're going to put some time back on the
clock. Yeah, so they're going to put 7 seconds on the clock.
Homecoming court nominees, please go to the ramp at this time. Homecoming court nominees, please go to the ramp at this time.
This is an interesting call because you do have like a wet football, and you're snapping that football. If they do lose the football, there's still 7 seconds. If Cretin-Derham Hall is able to come up with the ball, they can kick a field goal really quick here.
They could from this distance be into the wind on that one, but yeah, it's an interesting timeout call, knowing that you've probably got one more play at best.
Well, you just run it.
Yep, and that should do it.
Just padding the stats a little bit for the player. You can see the rain coming down, Paul.
Oh, yeah, it is starting to rain now.
Yeah, they said it was going to come down even more as the game goes on, so it's going to be tough conditions when we come back.
It will be.
So, anyways, 13-0 our score. We appreciate you watching. Stay with us. We'll have second half coming up in about 15.
Drownings are the #1 cause of accidental death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Designate an adult water watcher to watch kids in and around water. Save the phone calls and texts for when the kids are out of the water. Properly fence all pools with fences at least 4 feet high and with self-closing, self-latching gates. When above-ground pools aren't in use, remove the ladders. When pools aren't in use, cover them. Teach kids to stay away from drains. And if a child is missing, check the pool or spa first. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more. Because you never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Well, we're back here from St. Louis Park. It's a rainy evening. 13-0 our score. Scoring for Cretin-Derham Hall in the first quarter. A 39-yard field goal by Mackey. Also a 41-yard field goal made it 6-0. And then in the second quarter, Gales with a 14-yard reception from Bollinger. And the kick was good. So we're at 13-0 our score. So get ready to start the second half. St. Louis Park will receive the football here in the second half.
Yeah, Bruce, we'll see what they can do with the football, getting it here in the at the beginning of the second half. They just started to find a little bit of a rhythm in the offense toward the end of the first half, and then you weren't able to convert, and you saw Cretin just move the ball down the field. Nice throw down the field into the end zone to go up 13-0.
You know, Paul, if this was a grass field, it would be much more tougher conditions, I think, because we did see the rain coming down pretty heavily in between during halftime, and it seems to have tapered off a little bit. So hopefully it won't affect the players as much. But we can see from up here the field conditions. There's a lot of water, but seems to really soak in quite a bit. So
yeah, it looks like they've got some good drainage design here, because it was coming down very heavily, but it does look like it's dried out a little bit, and we'll see if that heavy downpour we had at halftime impacts anything. But we'll also see what the Orioles were able to draw up at halftime to see if they can get the ball moving down the field and get in the end zone.
And the wind going from right to left on our screen, so Mackey will have the wind at his back when he kicks off. Unless he squibs it, it's going to be in the end zone. There it goes.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big kick.
Yeah, he's got a great leg, and so now the Orioles will start.
First down, Orioles.
1st and 10.
You know, and with this wind, it does make you wonder a little bit if they ran so much in the first quarter so that they're not throwing into the wind, because that can impact, the wind can impact the throw as well. But we'll see what they do here, though. They're going to have to throw the ball, though, I think, no matter what direction they're going.
Interesting, in high school it goes to the 20, but in the pros it goes back up to the 25. And they give to Healthman.
Yep.
Number 2, Healthman.
That's their go-to. And I think that reason for the 25 in the pros is just the amount of collisions and that you have on kickoffs. So they're trying to incentivize players to not return the ball for the sake of injury more than anything else.
Second down.
So 3-yard gain for Healthman there. You like that, but they're not going to be able to do that every play. We'll see what they're able to mix in.
Looks like they got a strong left. See if they run left here. Keeper, Rickard, and Rickard can't even get. He doesn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. So maybe
58 for the Raiders.
Yeah, they had
no gain. Yeah.
Yeah, they had that strong. It looked like strong to the left, and then it was just the keeper fake to the right, and the Raider defense keyed in on it right away, and nowhere for Rickard to go. So 3rd and long here already.
Yeah, so a passing situation for the Orioles. We'll see if they can get something happen. They have 3 wideouts. Back to pass. Here's a quick pass off to the flat. Bauer.
Yeah, that's just good defense on the part of the Raiders. It was a nice pass, quick pass, and it looked like he could have been able to, get it and turn and make that corner and get the first down, but the tackling was just right there. If you just take a look here, looks like maybe he could have squirted over there, but you got number 15, Charlton, just right on it, wraps him up, nowhere for him to go, and now it's 4th and 5.
So 3 and out again for the Orioles.
Yep.
And they're going to punt against the wind here, too. So, Schulman. Going to be fielded at the 45-yard line, down to the 40.
So good field position again for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, and Prestigard, good hands to be able to catch the football and take it down to the 41.
Brought down by number 8, Tolzien for the Orioles. First down, Raiders.
So Bollinger will come out again to lead the Raiders. 13-0 Raiders lead here. We're in the 3rd quarter. You got Gales and Prestigard on the left side. And the handoff up the middle. Nice opening. And a
And
fumble.
the ball's dropped.
And then
Fumble on
the
play.
Orioles are saying they have it. Let's see.
It's Oriole ball.
Covered by the Orioles.
Well, that's a big break, Bruce, for the Orioles. It's, nice run there, and the ball squirts out, and you maybe can't see it on the screen, but there is I would say, a heavy mist falling, and so the ball's going to be wet, and did he punch it out?
Yeah, he did punch it out of this. Again, Thompson's second fumble of the game.
Yeah, so a nice big break for the Orioles. Tony Cruz on the punch out, it looked like there. It just kind of wraps around and punches it, and out goes the ball, and it's the Orioles' ball, 1st and 10.
And they give it to Helfman.
Number 2, Helfman on the carry for the Orioles.
It seems like the Orioles are getting small chunks with Helfman, maybe 3 yards on a 2 to 3 yards on a pop. They haven't been able to spring Helfman into the secondary at all.
Second down.
I think you went silent on us. See if we can get your mic figured out here. The 35-yard line.
On the carry.
Paul came unplugged here. We'll
Brought down by number 56,
we'll get Paul back in
for the
here in
Raiders.
just a second here. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Am I back?
You're back. It's so good to hear your voice again, Paul.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Couldn't have been that important. Here we go, 3rd and 5. Let's see if they can convert. We don't want another 3 and out.
Eichton has single coverage on the near side. Man in motion. Rolled to the near side. Under pressure and just throwing it out of bounds that time is
Number 12,
quarterback
pass.
Rickard.
Nowhere for him to go.
And the Orioles will punt the football again.
30, Nowak goes out of bounds. 4th down.
Seems like most of the Oriole passing plays have been rollouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rickard had one real nice one that somebody's throwing something onto the field. He had one really nice one where he kind of held onto it and pulled up into the pocket and it threw for a 1st down, but other than that, he's been rolling out, and I'm not sure who's throwing stuff onto the field. That's just not helpful, whoever that was.
High snap. Good job by the punter, Shulman. Fair catch call, I guess.
Fair caught, and then he took off.
Yeah, I don't think he changed his mind. He saw that he had plenty of room to run, so.
Raiders.
There's a flag on the field.
It could be.
I'm not sure. Is there a rule against calling a fair catch and then taking off?
They're gonna pick up the flag.
Flag's been picked up.
Seems right to me. I didn't see anything wrong with the play. So.
Referee's trying to get a dry ball on the field and get the wet one off the field.
Yeah, which is going to be tough to. It's going to get wet right away. We do have this kind of heavy mist still falling.
So the Raiders, again, good field position. They have it on the 49-yard line of St. Louis Park. And the give gets the ball to the 46-yard line. Steeken.
I didn't see the number.
Yep.
Looks like it, yeah.
26, Stika on the play. Carry for the
It's hard
Raiders.
between
Stood up by the
Steeken
Orioles.
and Thompson, you have the
Short gain on the
25-26.
play. Brings up second
The
down.
numbers look very similar. It's hard to differentiate.
Done a pretty good job mixing it up between Thompson, Steeken, and Weber. Second down, 8 play. Pitch. Good job by the Orioles that time.
Really nice tackling. And that looked
19,
like
Weber on the carry.
big number 8,
Tackled
I
by
think.
number 10.
Yeah, it's
Tolzien
Schrader, number 8,
with a really nice tackle here. Just wraps him up. I love seeing a tackle like that.
Short loss in the play.
Also, again, Schrader, who we called his name quite a bit.
Yep, he was also in there on the tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and long for the Raiders. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw here. We'll see what they drum up, but maybe the Orioles can make another stop.
And watch for number 11, Gales. He's been the go-to guy. He lines up on the near side. Back to pass. They're going to go the other way.
Got him.
Throws it downfield. It was dropped.
He's dropped, yeah. And he had Gales right up the middle, but it looked like it was designed to go to, what was that, number 23, Dixon?
Yeah, Montef Dixon.
But he somehow just lost it. I don't know if it slipped out or if right when he caught it, he got hit.
This will be the first time that the Raiders have punted the football.
Yeah, he just couldn't hold on to it. It was a little bit high and behind him, and it is tough, especially in these conditions, to have to twist your body around like that and then try to bring the ball in and keep it. So it was a tough catch on the part of Dixon. And yeah, here we go. He muffs the punt.
Oh, and the Orioles are going to take him down at the 42-yard line. So, yeah, that time tough for Seablum to grab the football, and he elected to try and run it, and Orioles are able to take him down at the 43-yard line, so they have great field position.
You know, and that's probably a function of a wet ball again.
Yeah.
It just went right through his hands into his face mask. He gets the ball and looks up, and there's nothing for him to do there but to take the tackle, and a huge break for the Orioles, who now have the ball in Raider territory, 1st and 10. Now they've got to get something going. This is a big drive for the Orioles.
Well, again, anytime you're doing these long snaps, and here when you run out of a shotgun too, you have that wet ball, so they're going to have to really try and hang on to the football. Back to pass, run over the middle. It's complete for the Orioles at the 31-yard line.
Pass is complete.
Number 17.
Schultz.
That's Schultz, Cooper Schultz there with the reception. Wave good on him to stay with it. Rickard bobbled the ball a little bit. He knows he's going to get hit, and he does. He hangs onto the ball. That's a 1st down for the Orioles. They got something cooking, Bruce.
What I like is he didn't roll out that time. It's just a quick drop back, able to see the receiver cut across the field. And they're going to do it again here. Now he's going to let it go long. And he has a player. What a catch. One-handed grab.
It's Jeremy Eichten there on the one-handed grab. A huge play for the Orioles. Rickard has them going here, Bruce. They are inside the 20, and they're going to hurry up.
First down.
I like this. Keep that rhythm going. Keep the Raiders on edge a little bit here. See if you can punch one in.
Best field position for the Orioles in this game. They have it at the 10-yard line. And the give will go to Helfman. He cuts back.
He's got room.
To the end zone. Touchdown, Orioles.
Number 2, Helfman up the middle for Orioles. Touchdown.
How about that, Bruce? What a series. What a series of events with the Raiders dropping the one pass on 3rd down, and then they muff the punt on the punt. And the Orioles take over on about the 40-some yard line. They drive right down the field on 3 drives to score a touchdown, exactly what they needed to do, and here we are in a 1-score game again.
And what happened there is they passed the ball a couple times, so it opens up the run. And they're able to get Helfman finally to get more than 2 or 3 yards. They got a nice 10-yard touchdown run.
Uh-oh.
Bad snap.
Well,
they're just going to have to fall on this one.
Yeah, and it's going to be a dead ball anyway.
Yep.
It's not a field goal. But, yeah, and the other thing they did there was really smart to just hurry it up because they had that pass defense probably in. And here's the catch. I mean, look at just a beautiful pass. Look at that. One-hand grab. Keeps the feet in bounds. I think that's a touchdown even in the NFL. But yeah, that hurry up, I think, is really what enabled them to get the ball into Helfman's hands and have a wide open run. And look at that, Bruce. Just like that, it's 13-6. They didn't convert on the extra point, but you're feeling pretty good if you're the Orioles.
Well, yeah, you didn't convert, but you stayed within 1 touchdown now of being able to tie the game.
Now we'll see how the Raiders respond.
Well, the Orioles needed something to get this homecoming crowd. They came out here in the rain. They got a big crowd, and nothing to cheer about in the first half. And now all of a sudden, their Orioles are back in this football game.
Yeah, they got 3 big plays right out of the gate here. Well, not right out of the gate, but they are pumped up on the sideline. Look at this.
Jason Foster has to feel a lot better right now.
Yeah, Jeremy Eichten making his rounds on the sideline, just pumping everybody up. I'm not sure what happened there.
I think the player's knee hit the ground.
Orioles kickoff
Weber.
is picked up by number 14.
Or
Raiders start.
Yeah, you're right. You know,
First
this
down.
it's gotten colder
Prestinger.
and wetter out here since halftime. The crowd has stayed with it, and now they can't go anywhere, right?
At the 25-yard line.
Well, the Raiders starting at the 25. They had one possession deep in their own territory at the 25. So this is the Orioles fired up on defense. See if they can stop the Raiders here.
It would be a big stop if they could, but the Raiders, I think, are going to be pretty focused here. And
there's
look
a
at
nice
that.
run off left tackle.
Nice blocking, gave him a real big hole, and he was also patient. Weber was patient back there too, waited for the blocking. You see him just kind of pause a little bit, and then he hits the hole hard, and a nice gain on the part of the Raiders.
It's always nice when you can get that big chunk on first down, so it gives you a lot of opportunities here. Second down, 2 yards to go for the Raiders.
Yeah, you love 2nd and 2. For a new call.
And Bollinger hasn't run the football much in this game. He's just pretty much handing it off. There's a first down. Coming to the near side is Weber. Across the 45 at the 46 where he takes a hard hit.
19 Weber
brought down by Nate Benishek.
Kind of a hard hit for both of them. Really great blocking. You can drive a bus through that gap. You'll see here's the hit, just kind of oof.
2 big guys going at it.
Yep. They're both pretty fired up now.
So they mark it at the 46. First down for the Raiders.
5 minutes to play in the 3rd.
We have Gales and Prestigard on the right side. Bollinger looks back to Weber. Make sure he knows the call. It's coming to him. A dive for a couple.
Weber on the play, tripped up by number 10, Schrader.
Yeah, the Orioles do a nice job kind of plugging up that hole again.
Yeah, Schrader on the tackle for the Orioles that bring up a second down, 7 yards to go.
Here's if you're the Orioles, you really want to stop these guys here. You don't want to let them get into field goal position again.
Quick pass to the far side, and it's caught.
Nice catch.
At the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he had to stay focused on that one, too. That's another one where you're just kind of sitting there waiting for it, knowing you're going to get hit. And
number 14, Prestigard.
And he took it, and...
Oh, and Prestigard there making the catch.
By the Orioles, brings up 3rd short.
3rd and real short here.
Yeah, they're just going to sneak it forward. And that sneak goes for about 6 or 7 yards.
Number 4, Bollinger on the quarterback sneak.
There's a whole new meaning to the quarterback sneak nowadays.
There is, there with that tush push.
First down, Raiders.
So the ball on the 39-yard line, 3.5 to play in the 3rd quarter, and the Raiders responding really well here with a nice mix of plays.
They're going to pass again. Quick pass, intercepted.
It's intercepted.
And going down at the 48-yard line. Oh, an injury.
And he's hurt. It looked like he got hit in
Number
the
4,
knee.
Bollinger's pass is intercepted by the Orioles.
Oh, he got hurt pretty, his leg twisted.
Yeah, that's Tolzien. Let's see what happened here. Looked like a miscommunication between Bollinger and the receiver. And right here toward the end, not quite sure what happened, but he certainly looks to be in
right
pain.
there, holding his left knee or hamstring. It's something.
And again, it looked like a miscommunication between Bollinger and Gales on that play. Gales cut back out. Bollinger threw it right to where he was. And Tolzien was there to pick it. Looked like he might have been able to go for 6, but not quite, especially with a field like this. And now he's in a lot of pain.
Well, this is good. We're going to try and get him up here.
Let's see if he's putting any weight on that thing. Oof. All right.
Slowly putting some pressure
He's
on
got
it.
some weight on it now, so that's a really good sign. I don't know if he'll be back in later, but he looks like maybe should be okay overall.
It's always good when they don't have to bring the card out.
Yes. I always think it's a real good sign when they can put weight on it, too.
Well, the Orioles now with the ball on the 49-yard line. They trail by 1 score.
Big opportunity.
13-6 our score here, and see what Rickard can do. Low snap. Rickard back to pass. He's going to let it go again for Eichel. Play that worked before, but good coverage by the defense that time.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was on the coverage, but really good coverage. He was right on him. And fans don't like something. I don't know if they wanted a pass interference. I didn't see any.
Yeah, I didn't quite see any interference. It was really John Mooney who did a really nice job, really just draping himself to the defender, to the receiver.
Wasn't going to let him get that play again.
Keeper.
Oh, nice fake. He's got a first down, Bruce.
Give me short by a yard or something.
Oh, okay.
But close.
I thought he snuck
Brought
through.
down by the Raiders. Gain of 9 on the play brings up 3rd and 1.
I do like that play because
Yeah.
so many times you hand off and they're really keying on Helfman, and that was the first time Rickard finally took the ball himself and making it a 3rd and 1 now. I'd like to see Rickard go under center, but
I was going to blame the water on our window for why I didn't see that real well, but then I realized you have the same window.
there we go. First down for the Orioles.
That's exactly what you needed to do right there. Give it to Helfman. Just pound it through. Get that first down. The Orioles moving the ball on a big interception. In a lot of ways, that's been the story of the game here. I think the Raiders with 3 turnovers, if my count is right.
On that carry, that's an Orioles first down.
Late call by our announcer here. Back to pass.
Looking at him again. He's got him.
Got a player open. Incomplete. Intended for Cooper Schultz.
And that's just too bad. Cooper Schultz had the man beat, and Rickard just underthrew him a little bit, so he had to slow up and turn around, and just wasn't able to make the play. But look at that. He had him by about a step and a half. And
he had the height, too. He was able to get his hand up there, but again, wet ball, hard to catch, and good defensive.
And it's so hard
too.
when you're twisting your body around like that and trying to pull that in. It's just a lot. We see it a lot in the higher levels, but it is a difficult thing to do.
I like the Orioles are opening it up a little bit.
Yep.
Pitch. Helfman cuts back inside. He's going to get a couple.
And on the carry.
It's going to be short by about 8 yards of the first down, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8, maybe 9.
Brought down by number 15, Charlton. Brings up 3rd down.
A big 3rd down play here. 1:35 to play in the 3rd.
Well, and again, Paul, this is probably 4 down territory for the Orioles. Rickard back to pass. He rolls. He's got room to run.
We got a flag down.
And he gets out at about the 31-yard line.
Quarterback keeper.
This could be on the Orioles.
Yeah, usually in that scenario, you're looking at a holding call. We'll see. He didn't get the first down anyway, but did make some good yardage. It'd be nice for it to be 4th and short. We'll see. Yep, and it's holding.
Yeah, and I think
holding on the Orioles.
I think if you're the Raiders, you actually take the penalty, knowing that the Orioles will probably go for it here.
Yeah, because it's going to back them up.
That's a 10-yard penalty and repeat of 3rd down.
10-yard penalty, and I believe from the spot of the foul, so even more, right? Yeah, they got.
Yeah, it's going to make it a 3rd down and 23 yards to go.
Yeah, I'd rather give them 2 yards or 2 downs with 23 yards to go than 1 down with 4 yards to go.
Yeah, and I think really realistically here is now they are in punting situation if they don't get the first down.
We'll see what they can drum
I
up.
think we're going to see another pass to the near sideline. Single coverage.
And we got a timeout.
Oh, Orioles are going to take a timeout here.
Timeout, Orioles.
I think Foster wants to make sure they get this right, get everybody in the position. Everybody knows their assignment, knows what they're supposed to do. They want to convert here. They want to take advantage of those turnovers that the Raiders have given them.
There's also single coverage on the near side. So there's an opportunity if they say, okay, they're playing single coverage. Let's put Eichel maybe on that side. He's able to make that catch, one-handed catch. And so maybe they want to switch it up and change who they have playing on the near sideline.
Yep.
St. Louis Park has one game remaining on their schedule. That coming up on Wednesday, October 18th. Home game against Chanhassen. Get a good look at the crowd tonight for homecoming, and have to be really proud that all these fans and players have come out to support the Orioles on homecoming.
Yeah, they had to cancel their parade today because of the weather. So
it rained on their parade?
It rained on their parade to the point where the parade didn't even happen. So, yeah, they canceled the homecoming parade. So I think everybody's fired up to be here tonight. And it's, you know, it could have been a lot worse based on the forecast we had seen. But it's rough out here with a pretty stiff wind.
Yeah, the wind is a big part of that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that misty, cold steel rain.
So they do have Eichel now.
Yep,
lined up on the near side.
Should get down on the sidelines, Bruce.
I think we'll see maybe a pass to the right sideline.
He's looking left.
And he could run for it, but I don't think he's got a long ways to go. I think just getting some yardage back and getting out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, so do you go for it here or do you punt?
I think you go for it.
I do too. Kind of a broken play, but he made up so many yards. You got a shot here. I wonder if that was part of the design too. Like, hey, we're going to do this. If it's not there, take off Rickard, because things might be spread out enough that you could get a good chunk in, and he did.
Right. I mean,
cut that about in half.
Right, from 23 yards now they only need 8. Maybe 9.
Regardless, they've given the defense a nice rest here.
Cutting back inside. He's got to throw it, though. He's got a player open. Off on the back of one of the Orioles.
Number 12,
he didn't quite have enough to throw, really, to get to the receiver who was further outside. He ended up.
Yep, that was the one he wanted to hit. But yeah, I'm impressed that he stayed up here, hung on to the ball.
Yes, big to hold on to the ball, but just didn't have enough to get it over the top.
There.
Yeah. There's 81 for the Orioles. Holmberg. Theo Holmberg.
Absolutely couldn't quite find him on 4th down, so the Raiders take over on downs. 16 seconds left to play in the 3rd, and Orioles have really have kept this close.
And a nice first down play again.
19 Weber on the carry.
Thompson has not gotten the ball since he's fumbled his second time, so keeping it more in the hands of Weber here.
Well, that's been the difference in this game, really.
And that brings us to the end.
The Orioles haven't been able to turn those into points, but they've kept the Raiders from getting points. And
you know, they have, and they outscored them here in the 3rd quarter. So
that's right. That's right.
6-0 for St. Louis Park in this quarter. 13-6 their score. Paul Bodwin along with Bruce Hoberman. We'll be back with more football in just a minute.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So 1 quarter to play here, homecoming 2023, 13-6 in favor of Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders.
The Raiders.
Come from the St. Paul side of town. And they're going to send Gales and Prestigard on the left side of the line. The handoff goes to Weber. Weber off left tackle is stacked up at midfield line, but has a first down for the Raiders. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders with the ball just across midfield.
First down Raiders.
Maybe once they spot it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be right on this.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's right about there.
So what is the division? What does that mean?
So we'll see what the Raiders' game plan here is in the 4th quarter. I'm anticipating them maybe just trying to chew up a lot of clock, try to keep the ball on the ground as much as they can.
Yeah, and I really think they like giving the ball to Weber because he seems to have a good grip on the football. Oh, they're going to pass the ball.
Of course, they go right into the air as soon as I say that.
Yes, they do a pass just to Dixon.
That's a nice little just kind of dump pass design there to pick up some good yardage.
23 Dixon.
Again, a lot of the passes have been fairly high percentage passes that he's thrown, and good job by Dixon.
And the one that was a little more low percentage ended up going for a touchdown. The only touchdown of the game for the Raiders.
So Raiders have had 3 field goal attempts. They made 2 of them. A couple turnovers in the game. Weber gets to the 35.
19 Weber on the carry.
Another first down for the Raiders.
Brought down by number
So they're
40,
chewing up yards and they're chewing up time off of the clock.
Yep. Yeah, and Weber's just been really solid for them tonight. He just kind of gets positive yards every time, and he's had a nice game. Oriole defense, though, should be pretty fresh here. They've had
Looks like
they've been
Tolzien,
on the field a lot.
Tolzien back in the
Is he
game.
back in? That'd be good to see.
Pitch, Stika. Stika gets stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Orioles that time. Loss of a yard.
Yeah, Tolzien is back in the game, number 8.
Larson for the Orioles.
Good to see him back out because just didn't know that he looked like he was in a lot of pain, but
Brings up
there he
7
is. Had the big interception earlier in the 3rd quarter.
So send Gale and Prestigard to the near side. Bollinger looks to the sideline. Calls out a play. And the handoff to Steeken.
Ooh.
Steeken with a nice gain out to the
26
26-yard line where it's going to bring up a 3rd down and maybe 2.
Yeah, and some nice blocking up front initially, but and it looks like then the Orioles had him, but he just kind of snuck right out of it right here.
They line up quickly. And this quarterback keeper,
they got it.
Bollinger.
Number 4 Bollinger on the carry.
Yeah, you know, quarterback sneak for 2 yards now. So
yeah, you'll take every inch you can get, and
yeah, and I think when you need 2 yards and it's 3rd down, if you get 1 yard, that quarterback sneak now seems to be getting you at least 1 yard, maybe 2. So if you had to do it a second time, you could.
do it. Yep, exactly. And also just kind of doing the hurry up there also always keeps that defense a little bit shaky, which can be just enough.
Steeken again, the running back. He'll get the football.
26
Runs
Stika
into a couple Orioles.
on the carry. Brought down by number 40 Harden for the Orioles.
P.J. Harden in on the tackle.
And I wonder if we'll get Weber back in the game here. As he seems to have had a little bit more success than Stika on the run.
Steeken remains in the backfield. Back to pass. Looking over the middle, complete.
looks
that
like
Montef Dixon, I believe.
Number 23, Dixon.
and he's going to be a little short of the first down, but 3rd and short has been tough to stop.
Yeah, it has. And again, just a nice pass. Good job to hang on to the football by Montef.
And he did, Bollinger did a nice job of kind of initially looking over to Gales, who was kind of going down the sideline. And I think it just pulled the defense off a little bit, and then he went more inside and a little shorter pass there. And really, really well done to pick up a gain and put him in 3rd and 1.
Bollinger's going to give it to Steeken this time, and Steeken with a first down.
26, Tika on the carry.
So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Raiders.
Number 4, Bauer.
Yeah, they've just been marching the ball right down the field here and chewing up a lot of clock. We're down to 6:45 to play in the game.
Yeah, a really great drive right now by Cretin-Derham Hall. St. Louis Park's back to the wall. This is where Cretin's had a little bit of problems.
They have, and the Orioles have tightened up here as the field gets shorter.
Fake handoff. They pitch it.
He's got room.
Yeah, I think this is going to go. Good job following the block by Jalen Gales, who
Number 11, Gales
came around on a sweep.
Yep, and good blocking up front. And again, that patience, just kind of waiting for everything to sort of unfold and develop for him. He finds the lanes and gets into the end zone. Really well done by the Cretin Raiders.
And you can see he did a good job following his blocker, number 23, Montef Dixon, who made a nice catch earlier. Did a good job blocking on that play.
And so they're back in the end zone, and now it's a 2-score game again, 6:10 to play in the 4th quarter. We'll see if they can convert here.
The question is just how far is he going to kick this ball? He had some pressure coming in from the outside, but the kick is up and good by Mackey.
It is up and good, and now it's a 14-point lead. So it's a 2-score game. The Orioles have got their work cut out for them. They had the one really nice drive for a touchdown. It was 3 quick plays. And that might be what they need to do, Bruce, is just kind of keep some things moving, try to keep the Cretin defense off balance. Rickard has shown that he can, here's the play again, it's just so well designed. Look how spread out things got, and just one little block on Tolzien there it takes to get him in the end zone. But
Gales got the 2 touchdowns in the game for Cretin-Derham Hall.
you see the wind blowing pretty strong. That's just got to hurt on everybody looking at that cold, wet wind blowing today.
Yeah.
We're just laughing a little bit. I gotta give him credit. Our producer put that up for us so we can talk about Gale Force wins after the Gale touchdown there. That's good. That's good, Paul.
There you go.
Well done. We got great. We got a great crew.
Paul Broden, there's an onside kick. Well, just a short little kick, which I think took St. Louis Park by surprise, but they were able to do a good job fielding it.
It almost looked like he tried to squib it down the field, and it just didn't quite get through the initial line there.
I wonder if he slipped a little bit because let's see here.
Take a look.
On the return
I don't know. Maybe he is trying to do an onside kick. I don't know.
There's a little
what they were
opening in the
trying
middle,
to do.
but yeah.
Either way, it works in the Orioles' favor with some decent field position.
Yeah, and again, when you have a kicker that is able to kick it as deep as he kicks it,
Yeah.
you know, it's for the Orioles to get the ball on the 44-yard line is a big plus. Helfman.
Number 2, Helfman on the carry for the Orioles.
And he, as you said earlier, Bruce, they just have not been able to break him loose.
He did have the touchdown run of 10 yards, but otherwise everything's been 2 to 3 yards.
Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7. They're going to throw the football here. Rickard throws to the far side. And a little intended for Eichten, but too far.
Ball's incomplete.
Yeah, and that was Daniel Tolson there on the coverage. He was right on him too. It makes it difficult to convert a play like that. So good defense on the part of Tolson and the Raiders. I mean, look, he's right on him.
Trying for that one-handed catch that time.
Let's do it again.
The first one was right-handed. This one would have been a left-handed one.
So now it's 3rd and 7. We'll see what the Orioles can do here. They need to convert.
Quad receivers for the Orioles. Looking to pass. Rickards got pressure. Scrambles to the near side. Now he's got more pressure, and he's taken down at the 31-yard line.
Number 12, Rickard, is taken down in the backfield by number 1 for the Raiders.
There again, that's number 1, Jaden Harris. He has the speed to really close, and look where Jaden comes from here.
Yeah, and that's a situation, it's hard to know, but he might have wanted to peel over to the other side because now he's running to his weak side, and it's harder to turn and even throw the ball away, and it just takes it for a huge loss. Now it's 4th and 20.
Orioles will punt the football.
Not a whole lot else they can do here other than that.
Shulman now has the wind at his back.
Let's see if he can get a good bomb. High.
Yeah. Oof. Oh, he doesn't get this one up in the air. But
look
it takes an Oriole bounce.
It takes a great Oriole bounce.
Oh, you don't need to touch it.
I don't know why he touched it right there. He could have gotten a few more yards, but it turns out to be a really nice punt for the Orioles, driving the Raiders way back to about their own 5-yard line.
Really the first time that the Raiders didn't try and field that punt.
I don't know why they didn't. It looked like he could have scooped it. Maybe he was worried.
I think that's smart. When you have a lead, you're up 20-6. Don't take any chances.
Yeah, you don't want to turn the ball over there. That's
right.
For sure.
Now they're in a position they can run time off the clock. We're down to 4:36 remaining in this football game. 26, Raiders lead. They have a big advantage in yards, offensive yards in this game. We don't have stats, but
yeah, yards and time of possession, although the time of possession, I think, has been much better in the second half than it was in the first.
Timeout, Raiders.
Yeah, we get a timeout by the Raiders.
I think that's their first one of the game. Oh, and here we got the standings.
Yeah, St. Louis Park, again, very young football team this year, so I think hopefully they'll be able to pick up on their experience from this year and improve and move up in the standings next year. Jefferson having a good season, 3-0.
Yep.
5-1 overall. And Jefferson, St. Louis Park, that was a game that St. Louis Park played at home against Jefferson, and game was suspended due to the lightning and everything, and continued on the next day. And St. Louis Park actually played them fairly well. That was final score in that Jefferson game was 17-7. So
nice low scoring game.
It was actually 14-0 at halftime, and so second half St. Louis Park was 7-3. So I think they had to be happy with that.
All right, here we go. 4:30 to play in the game. Look at that hole.
Oh, yep. And Weber.
19 Weber on the carry. Tripped up by number 10.
Again,
Weber has to be close to 100 yards rushing in this game.
I bet he is. He's had some really nice runs, and kudos to the Raiders offensive line. They've just been stellar tonight, creating holes, and running backs have been good about waiting for the blocks. It's just been a really, really well played game.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned, time of possession, and what the time of possession does is keeps the defense on the field a lot. And in high school football, you have a lot of players that are playing offense and defense. So some of these guys have been on the field quite a bit, not only on defense, but then they turn over and they play offense too. So
yeah, so even when they're supposed to be getting rest, they're not getting much.
I think Cretin-Derham Hall will just continue to take time off the clock.
Yep, this is all they need to do right now is just grind it out. Looks like a timeout on the part of the Orioles, I'm going to guess here with 3:40 to play in the game.
Timeout, Orioles.
Yes, the Orioles have 2 more timeouts left. They're gonna try and see if they can get the ball back one more time here, and
I can see why. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to come back and win this, but the bottom line of what they're doing right now, Bruce, so much of what they're doing is building. And so they want to get that offense as much reps as they can. Rickard's improved quite a bit over the season. So there's a lot to look forward to here in the coming years. And so, yeah, let's see if we can get the ball back and get something else going again. Because the more we do that, the better we're going to be down the road.
I don't know if we mentioned that Rickard is a sophomore.
Yeah.
So I don't think we mentioned that. So he does have 2 more years to play. And again, so I think this is great development for him and giving him more opportunities. And
yeah, and as you had mentioned earlier, I think not one senior in the starting offensive lineup for the Orioles. So there's a lot to still work on here. So you want to get as many reps as you can.
Nice gain.
Very nice gain. It's going to tick off a lot more clock.
That's Steeken.
The other thing I would say about that Coach Foster has done so well is he's doing well in game coaching, trying to win games, but he has also he's got a long range vision, and I think and you've been able to see that flesh out over the years with him.
This has been a pretty fast-moving game. We haven't seen many penalties in this game, so that's been great. We haven't
very clean.
Only a couple turnovers with the weather conditions. So kudos to both teams playing in these conditions and doing a good job. Yeah. Give to Steeken. Steeken to the 25. Or 45, very close to the first down. I think he's going to be
very close.
Could be measurement territory. Let's see.
Timeout Orioles.
They're going to say just short. So
okay, just short of the first down.
This is quarterback sneak territory.
It sure is.
I can only imagine that Bollinger will try and take this one himself. He's had a lot of success. He's been able to get 3 to 4 yards on the sneak.
And you mentioned the weather, Bruce. I mean, think about this kind of weather. Like, I would guess that most players, even fans, would almost rather it be like 20 degrees colder and snowing than this 45 degrees and raining thing where you just get so wet and it's chilled. And
it's just so crazy, too. You know, a week and a half ago, I'm doing homecoming for Benilde St. Margaret's, and the temperature is like 85 degrees and humidity at 85%, and players are going down, and
fans are going down
fans
as well,
are going down. They call the game 8 minutes early before the end of the game, and just because of the casualties and the safety of the fans and the players. And in Minnesota, you know, you get 10 days later, you get a game that's in the 40s temperature-wise, rain, almost snow.
So it is tough to play in this, I think.
So Orioles without any timeouts left.
2:41.
The Raiders get a first down here. They can pretty much just run the clock the rest of the way, and they're going to take a timeout. Yep. Well, I think the Raiders were looking to see what the Orioles came up with, the defensive alignment, and maybe they saw the Orioles were really stacked up in the middle against that quarterback sneak, so they called the timeout and see what they elect to do. I think they'll still probably sneak it. So.
I would think so. But I don't know how the play design would change much, you know, in taking the timeout if you're going to sneak it anyway. So we'll see. I mean, maybe they're going to try to spread it out a little bit and give it to Weber. I don't know, but I would think a sneak would be the way to go. I don't even know why they call it a sneak anymore. We all know it's coming.
Right. Well, Steeken will be in the backfield. And you can see he's under center.
Yep.
Bollinger.
That don't look like a sneak to me.
Well, but they end up handing it off, and that's a first down and more for Steeken.
And that's going to probably about do it.
An injured player for the Orioles. So.
Brought down by the Orioles. First down.
And that is Henry Schrader.
It almost looks like a cramp.
It does. It looks very crampy. So, yeah, there's going to probably stretch him out here, it looks like. That's another one that's always a good sign when it's a cramp, unless it's Byron Buxton.
did get his last chance to get an at bat in the playoffs. That was fun to see.
Yeah.
So right now it looks like the Raiders will get their second win of the season. The Orioles still looking for their second win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he'll have to come off the field, but he looks to be just fine.
I'll have to get some fluids. Schrader's had a good game defensively.
I would say the Orioles as a whole have had a good game defensively, really. They've come up with some big stops, 3 turnovers. So I think that's something they can take away from this and say, hey, we did really well on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they're gonna take the knee.
Yep, they're in victory formation.
Classy move though for Coach Walsh.
Yep.
I think many teams would just maybe say, "Oh, we'll put our reserves in. Let's just go for it," you know. And 2.5 minutes left, and just hand the ball off. But let the clock tick down as much as they can here.
Yep. I think also in these weather conditions, you know, you don't put your reserves in, and who knows what'll happen. And it's cold, and everybody just wants to go home.
Right.
Yeah, we got a penalty. Delay of game.
Yeah, you know, you don't have the clock that you can sort of see the time ticking down, but
so it's hard to know. But
reminder again at the conclusion of the game.
You know, between the timeouts and the injury, and now this, they're really kind of stretching this thing out.
There'll be 15 minutes put on the clock.
Like now they get the fans out after the game, so give them 15 minutes to be out of the stadium. So.
Yeah, it's homecoming. They don't want any riff and any raff.
So 26 the score here. The Raiders will stay in victory formation. Bollinger takes the knee.
Should tick us down.
So for the Raiders, their next game will be October 18th against Irondale. And the clock at 1:20.
I don't want to see him at all. I'd rather just see video of him. Listen, we won't see video.
So I always say, you know, it's either a long plane ride or so it'll be a nice ride back to St. Paul for Cretin-Derham Hall, getting that second win.
That is if they can get through that 394 to 94 East.
That's right.
Mess.
Stay off Highway 55 tonight. That's close.
Oh. So yeah, we're inside of a minute now. This should be it right here.
St. Louis Park has to be pleased with their gate receipt tonight with the weather conditions and how many fans showed up for the game, and this is going to do it. So.
And that'll do it. Yep. Hard-fought game by the part of the Orioles for the most part. Couldn't get their offense clicking. Defense played really well with the 3 turnovers. Tried to monopolize on them. They couldn't, and Cretin just played a better ball game.
Yeah, a couple field goals by Mackey, a couple touchdowns by Gales, and Orioles with the lone touchdown from Helfman, and 26 is the final score. So.
And there you go. We'll be back here on Wednesday, so a short week.
Yeah, it is.
With MEA weekend, so we got the Wednesday games.
And good to see that everyone stayed healthy in this game too.
Yep.
So that's always the key. And yeah, these kind of conditions. So good to see both players. Congratulations to the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders and Coach
Our
Walsh,
next
a
home
nice
game
win for
will
them.
be Wednesday,
And for the St.
October
Louis Park
18th.
Orioles,
This
they
coming
will be
Wednesday
back here,
will
as we
be St.
mentioned,
Louis
on
Park
Wednesday. And
Football Orioles. They
look
take
forward to
on
seeing
the
that game, Paul. So
It'll be a good time.
want to thank our crew who weathered the storm
There you
to bring
go.
you this.
There you go.
To bring you the game. We have camera people outside and Paul out in the truck and everything. So thank you to our whole entire staff. And on behalf of Paul Bodwin, I'm Bruce Oberman saying so long here. Final score from St. Louis Park is Cretin-Derham Hall 20, the St. Louis Park Orioles 6. Good night.